Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Coven Radio. I hope everybody's doing really well. Thanks for everyone who's already here. I can see BB and Hans and Kev is here. My word, we are on
Yeah.
it now.
Why is he
Gee,
here? Are we being audited?
yeah. And Nikki's here. I was in her space earlier. It's always a giggle. So I'm trying to persuade her to come on as a guest. I'm like working on it slowly. But how are you anyway? What's happening with you guys? What's Rebel Ant news?
Good, man. Like we're doing a lot. I think we're like exhausting ourselves, but we just want to release things. Honestly, tomorrow we have a really good stream in the morning too, with Sean at 9 a.m. I'm looking forward to that conversation with him too because he's got a lot of stuff that he needs to talk about, and some more updates from the last time that he was in our show.
Awesome.
Yeah, toys are here. The toys came in. The toys are stuck at the port. I gotta figure out how to get them out of the port.
Is it some sort of weird customs thing or?
Yeah, because yeah. So I gotta figure that out, which I will. Hopefully, this by the end of this week, I should be able to figure them out. It's 300 toys, so they look really good. They're like 4 different ones, I think it is.
So there's four different designs.
4 different designs, yeah. They actually
Awesome.
look pretty cool, so I can't wait to have those. We just don't know yet if we want to release them with like the card game that we're developing, or what do we want to do, whether we want to ship them out as a gift to certain people. We don't know yet, so we got to figure that out and see how they look and see if I want to make more. But it looks very promising. I did a tease on X about a new overlay platform that we're building. I don't know if you got to see that, but I showed the video there. It looks pretty awesome.
It looks absolutely epic.
You're able to manipulate the overlays however you want. You could actually import your own overlays. You could draw your own thing and import it in and put it over the ant or anything that you want. It doesn't have to be the NFT itself. It could be any image you want. You could import whatever image you have and create an overlay for it and save it and put it out there whenever you want. Or if you want, you have the choice of putting in your token ID for the Rebel Ants, and you'll get your little NFT there, and you can overlay whatever you want on there. So looking forward to that. It looks pretty cool. You're able to write on it. There's like tags. It's cool.
It looks wicked. I saw the teaser video. It looks so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost ready. I mean, I think it's ready. I just I want to adjust like 2 more things, and then and then that's it. We can release. And then the other thing is that we are so the 8 migration, it's almost ready. There's like 2 things that I still need to work on, which have not been fixed yet, because there's just a lot of things happening in the background. So once those 2 things are fixed, and we can start migrating to Ape, which I'm hoping that's by like next week already.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that too. Hopefully we can finalize those 2 things this weekend, or between today and this weekend, and get that done. And then hopefully next week, early next week or late next week, we can finally start releasing that portal so that people can start migrating to Ape Chain.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I've been busy. I say the royal we. I don't know. I've got all the trading cards designed now, so the whole set, this first wave of cards are all finished. I've got a supplier for creating them. He's the guy that Creepy Steve uses. I'm hoping he can do it because he handcrafts these cards. He hand foils them and stuff. So for me, that was just like, that's a winner. They were slightly thicker. They really are special. So I'm hoping to get that sorted very, very soon, and hopefully we can get those released for Halloween. But yeah, I'll start sharing some of the designs and stuff. But what's really, 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 really cool. So I built myself a open chat AI in chat.
Yeah, you were telling me about this, yeah.
But yeah, I created this Lunar Witch Oracle, and I thought this would be fun. So if anyone wants to do this, they can go on. You can upload your NFT and ask the Lunar Witch what power your NFT bestows upon you, what her lore is, all that kind of stuff. But what I hadn't banked on is how much time it was going to save me doing my trading cards, because I put a little bit of lore on each one for each witch.
Oh.
I've written all the lore and then I've uploaded it to my open chat. I can say to Lunar Witch Oracle, I can take a photo of the card, upload it, and say, get a little line of text of lore for this witch tailored towards the bat nocturnal creatures. And it it pulls it directly from the stuff I've already written without me having to go through and like
Oh,
find
that's cool.
a bit. So it was worth all those agonizing hours the other weekend doing that
Yeah.
just to do that. It's exciting. So I think me and Fraser are really going to try and get that embedded in the website so people can literally go and upload their NFT and get some moon magic about their NFT. I think that's a really cool little
Yeah,
bit
that
of,
is very cool. So
yeah.
the other thing I wanted to talk about too, or wanted to say was that not many people know that we're in every podcasting platform. So like you go into Apple Podcasts, we're there. You go into Spotify, we're
Yeah.
there. We're like everywhere. We're like ants at a summer barbecue, like Kevin likes to say.
The answer
We're,
to the
we're
barbecue.
we are in every platform. Like we're in YouTube, we're on X. We used to stream to IG and then that stopped because it wasn't like suitable. It wasn't the greatest platform.
TikTok.
Um, yeah, but we actually, me and Kevin were talking about this the other day that we want to start going into TikTok and doing live streams there too. So I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of like streaming things happening right now. So
Yeah, it's all you guys are busy, busy, busy. I'm just like,
yeah, we seem to be on high demand lately. So
it's good. That's a
it's,
really good
yeah,
thing. It's like
yeah, it's a
it's
good thing because what I want is obviously whatever happens with us is going to happen with you and everybody who's going to stream under us. So it's
it's
a win-win
exciting.
for everybody. It's exciting. Yeah.
It is exciting times. It's
Yeah.
really good. I'm excited for it. Well, actually got we've got a fellow Welsh person coming on, guys. We've got another person from Wales. Like I think there's like two of us in the whole of the NFT space, just me and Andy. He's a creative director. He's like a mastermind behind a collection called Hangry Animals. So I'm going to get him on now. Let me transition over and add him. Here we go. Welcome, Andy.
Hello, hello. How are you?
The Welsh are. We're going to do this.
Slowly but surely. Although I'm wearing NFL gear, so from the
Ah,
UK, but big American football fan. So
That's really cool.
so who's
Yeah.
your favorite team? Get it out
Vikes,
there.
Vikings. See
So
the
where are
helmet in the
they? Where are
corner
they
somewhere.
based?
The helmet.
Unfortunately, I'm a Giants fan. I know. I know. It's
Bless you.
terrible.
Bless you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I cry like every day. But
Wait, do they do particularly bad? I mean, this is completely over my head.
it's
Do
a
they
I
badly
don't
or
even want to get into it. It's just yeah,
It's a journey. It's a
it's a
journey.
journey.
like,
Exactly. There you go. That's how you
you have to be passionate about them to stick with them,
have
is
to be
it?
passionate. And Kevin's right. Kevin said on the stream and Abstract. That's true. I totally forgot that we are streaming to Abstract too as well.
Cool.
Totally
Well
forgot.
Yeah, and who's got a Windows computer? No one. No one here. None of us artists have. Oh, you have.
Do you even use it though? Like, do you turn it on?
Actually, turn it on.
I turn it on and I never turn it off. It's just because you just never know what's going to happen if you do turn it
That's
off
true.
and turn it back on. Things will not work the way you had them when it was on before.
Yeah.
But I've got a. There's 4 monitors streamed across this, so I'm on a dual monitor. Then I've got a XP Pen 22-inch to draw on, and then I've got a 27-inch iMac. So it's like Darth Vader's bathroom in here.
I love it. Got all the computers just to be safe. Brilliant. Oh, so it's so nice to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
That's awesome.
Do you want to just like introduce yourself? Like, I know it's a really crappy question because it's like, where do you start? But just like a little background of who you are and
Your
what you do.
elevator pitch.
Yeah,
Oh,
the elevator for sure. Not but like, what's your journey into Web3 and that kind of thing.
Cool, no worries. Yeah, Andy, Welsh, born and bred. I 25, no, maybe 27 years in the creative industry. So I've directed
Wow.
TV commercials, radio commercials. I've run brand studios. I've run my own branding agency. Jumped ship many a times to try different things. I have ADHD, so bouncing around like a right blue ass fly every day is common for me. But I think it was about 2019, 2020. Someone mentioned to me, you want to get into NFTs? There's loads of artists in the space, and OpenSea, and I was just hearing little dribs and drabs of words that did make no sense at the time. I was like, what is this, and how can I get curious about it? And then we entered a wonderful phase in our lives called lockdown.
Yeah.
And at that point, I already started a creative agency with a couple of others. So just before lockdown, when you start a business and then all your clients go, hey, we kind of don't need you for the moment. So I started doodling and illustrating in the evenings. I've always been an illustrator. I've always been character designs and building worlds. But
Yeah.
it's always been, if you're a creative director, you're always doing it on behalf of clients. You're never
Yeah.
really doing it for yourself, right? So lockdown was a real opportunity to find that release, to do something for myself. Bit of a mental health kick, really, in a way, to go, I need to get back to me, do a bit of drawing and find that rhythm again. Met a couple of people, contributed and helped on a couple of projects in Web3 and in the crypto space. So if anybody is a token, degen, then Reflect token, or RFI as it was back in the day, was the first
Mhm.
reflective token until SafeMoon were gifted the code and then went to the moon and then went to jail. Um, well, they did, right? They did.
Yeah.
So,
I had a
but I was
shipment of
part of the
signal.
team that was putting some of that comms out around Reflect and RFI, just as an avid fan, really. And
Yeah.
I cut my teeth in that space, understanding the marketing, understanding running Telegram kind of chats and groups and stuff, but never really had the opportunity to do something for myself. But within that group of people, you started to really get to know, and I had a great bunch of mates in Web3 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So 2022, I think I met someone that was really into the same stuff. They had a little bit more of a technical edge than me as a creative. I was like, I need to know someone
Yeah.
that maybe has a little bit of a step ahead of me in smart contracts and stuff. So we said, yeah, let's do something. He wanted to call it Hangry Hippos,
Mhm.
which we know there is a project called Hangry Hippos, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We
Before
have.
I even knew there was Hangry Hippos, something, right?
Yeah.
He said, I want to do something called Hangry Hippos. I was like, dude, that's very limiting. This is no disrespect to Hangry Hippos. That's very
No.
limiting. We've got one animal. Why can't we have like a few
A
more?
bunch. Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
off. I said, why don't we call it Hungry Animals and let's do 5 animals? You know, a bear,
Yeah.
hippo, moose, gorilla, and and a zebra. Like, okay, cool. And it was at that point I started live streaming on Twitch and doing illustrations and asking the crowd, what kind of animals do you want to see? What kind of traits can these characters have? And we just build a little bit of a fan base and an audience around that.
Oh wow.
It
Cool. That's so cool.
just started to just murmur away from there, really. But slow beginnings and lots of learning, as we all
Yeah.
have in the last couple of years. It's a massive steep learning curve, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We finally launched a collection at the beginning of 2024. We did like a pre-mint sort of a pass early on, and then we finally minted a collection. Or it's still open now. Actually, this is how we're not into that world of hype and build up something before it's ready for consumption. So we spun up a collection, 5,555 of these 5 characters, and then I just continued to build from there. Really, it wasn't a case of stopping. But the mission and the vision for Hungry Animals has always been a mixture of comics, animated series, merch, toys, vinyl toys. Can't fault it. Love what you do, Miguel. I really love to have a conversation with you about vinyl toys. But all of these pieces, with a proportion of those sales going to help towards animal welfare charities.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
we're in the mix of several conversations with some UK-based high-profile dog charities
Mhm.
and animal cat sanctuaries, to sort of join that partnership really with us in following that journey. And that's only really come around in the last year, where we've finally figured out what the message is and the
Yeah.
purpose around that. It's not just a PFP project. Yes, there are
Mhm.
illustrations of these characters, but the idea being that we allow the rest of the collection to actually play a part in the comics. So we vote on a PFP. That PFP could actually be placed into a comic or an animated episode.
Mm.
There's a bit of notoriety then for the holder of that asset, that NFT.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all culminates in trying to build something with purpose that can help animal welfare charities that are struggling right now. It's
Yeah.
downturn in donations in that space. There's a massive digital audience. Gaming is huge,
Yeah.
even though the mainstream narrative around gaming, with everybody losing a lot of layoffs in the gaming industry, that is
Yeah.
still, there's still a hot space to be for innovative ideas. So, and that's where we want to really be, is in that sweet spot between entertainment, brand recognition, and building it with a community. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. I love that.
Excited. Yeah, I'm gonna just let's meet the hangries. So we can see this. I love your illustrations, like how they're clean but they're loose, if you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
really what do you use to create? Do you use a particular program, or like what's
Yeah, what
the
do you
goal
like to use?
to go through?
I like a mixture of things, really. So I've always struggled to begin an illustration in digital format. So
Yeah.
Really?
used a mixture of Clip Studio Paint, which is typically comic based platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Procreate, which I moved to Procreate from Adobe's Ink. I can't remember what it's called now. But Adobe has a vector based line art
I
tool.
know, I can't think what it's called right now, but yeah.
Um, and that's exclusive to the iPad. So I started there and I was doing illustrations, but I just didn't feel like it was fluid enough. And the pencil, the sort of the gradation of pressure changes in the pencil work was not as good as Procreate. So what I tend to do is begin the work and the concept in pencil in a sketchbook. I'll scan that in and then I'll treat the ink work in Procreate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then I will eventually move from Procreate into Photoshop to do some of the more nuanced and the finer
Details,
detail
yeah.
stuff with the XP pen, because it's a super 22-inch display. So and I, like you say, there's a bit of looseness to it, and I do like to throw the digital ink around, as it
Yeah.
were.
No,
Um,
they're wonderful.
Yeah, they look really good.
yeah.
I
You know,
think
Um,
this
it's I'm
my
curious to know, like, is it so you usually start obviously on paper and then you transfer it over to digital, right? Is it because of the feel? Because I had an issue, for example, like when I first started digital,
yeah.
it was like that feeling of having a paper. And then I ended up buying like this thing that you put on top of the iPad. That
That's what I got, paper-like
Yeah,
cover.
the paper
Yeah.
like thing, yeah. And then I really got used to it pretty quickly. It actually does work.
There's
I
Very surprised.
a lot of
yeah.
grip, and it's like,
I use that stuff too. There's pen tips. So pen tips,
Yeah.
I have little rubber tips because
yeah,
with the way I illustrate the Apple Pencil, the nib just slides off the surface too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
combination of pen tips and the paper like
yeah,
surface layer that you have. But still, the iPad's quite restrictive, so I really do like to throw the arm and the pen around everywhere. So it's too small.
And you are right about like Photoshop. Like I always transfer all my drawings into Photoshop just for like because you're able to see by the pixel, right, in Photoshop, and you're able to fix different things. But
Yeah.
that's yeah, I know exactly
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
it's and I'm learning as well. I'm a massive comic nerd, so I do love the work of Daniel Warren Johnson or Jorge Corona. Those sort of very modern creatives and artists, Scotty Young, but even Simon Bisley and the 2080 old school
yeah,
vets that are still standing strong in the industry. they use fast and loose. They always do ink work that's a bit dirty. It splashes around and stuff. And I think there's something about that. Otis the Hippo is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's very cool. They're all very cool. I think Sabrina is my favorite though.
yeah. I've got
That
there's
looks
a
cool.
soft spot for Sabrina because we did a bit of research and looked around, and we couldn't find many sort of stereotypes or archetypes of this strong female figure
Yeah,
in that comics in brand IP
yeah,
animated
Mhm.
series kind of world that actually reflects that idea.
yeah.
And using a zebra as well was quite interesting because it's either what's the show, Madagascar.
Madagascar.
That
Right,
zebra is
right.
always dumb and goofy, excuse the term, but I think there's an opportunity there to make something that was a little bit more strong
Yeah,
female.
a bit more of a rock star, isn't she?
Yeah, that is
She's
pretty
uh,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's
I love that.
she's really cool.
Mhm.
I love her hair, everything. She's really good kid. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite character that you created?
Yeah, I do,
Who
and I
should we
think it's
say?
Who's your favorite?
the moose. Marv the moose is kind of. I think he's the clown that I am in a way. So there's a soft spot for him because the way we're writing stuff now, we're because there's a comic series in the progress at the moment we're writing, but we've also had some funding for early development work of an animated series.
Oh
So we've
wow!
been playing with what are the characters, and Kerry, my wife, is also my partner in the project now,
Oh
um,
wow!
has been really doing the deep dive on character personas. And it's the
Yeah,
kind of stuff you kind of brush to the side because you think, well,
Mhm.
I know what the character looks like, but persona work is really important because you understand the motivations,
yeah,
what makes them tick, what makes them triggers, throw them into situations and understand what they're going to do in that scenario because you've already fleshed it all out in a
yeah,
persona,
yeah, yeah.
right? So it's been really interesting to play with Marv as that comedic relief of a
Yeah.
show that is a little bit about world domination threat through comedy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
I,
Marv's my guy because he can snap his antlers off and they regrow in different shapes and stuff, and he can.
oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's cool.
Yeah,
I love these are so much fun. It
yeah.
is, yeah, and the amount of like you say, thought you've put into it is incredible. Like, did the comics come before the idea to the comic come before the animation, or have they just kind of gone hand in hand?
I think the way my brain works is everything comes at once or not at all. And I do think that the script for an animated series, or like the idea, the big story arc for the script came first.
Yeah,
Then we realized you need 10 to 15 million to make an animated series.
Yeah.
you need a lot of
It's like,
money.
I haven't got 10 to 15 million. So let's start off and do a very small part of that story arc in a comic, test it out, see what happens with
And it's
the
almost
character.
storyboarding
Yeah,
it's almost like the first process of creating a film anyway, isn't it? I suppose.
exactly. This and it's great. It's cheaper than going into full production to test something out. So the comic is, that's our starting point really, so we can
Yeah,
start to play with it.
that
But
is
it's going
really.
well. It's going well. I've
I bet.
penciled, so still sticking with the pencil work. I've penciled 17 out of 22 pages
Oh
for the
wow!
first episode or the first issue of the miniseries comic. Um,
How many comics do you think you'll do in a series?
then we're gonna do six because it's a
Yeah,
mini series. We've got
Mhm.
two ideas brewing at the moment. Six origin stories because we need six. I know you only see five characters here, right? But I've illustrated over 35 characters.
Wow.
wow. Okay.
But we're releasing them in a kind of a gradual sort of way. Um, so the first five, it's origin stories of all of the five key characters, and then
Yeah.
the
Mm.
sixth issue will be the first adventure as such
Of
for
the
the
other
character.
character.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
we can do that as a back-to-back trade, perfect bound, complete
Yeah.
story. Then,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. There's
another
nice graphic novel all together, kind of.
Yeah.
love it.
See, that's going to be so nice.
That's the plans. But obviously, because of where my mind goes, I like to work on several things at the same time. So
We were
we've
talking about
also,
this literally just before the show.
Like me.
yeah. So in early prototype stage development is a 3D game. I develop in Unity as well, so I
Mm.
don't just illustrate. I can code websites and spin up apps for
Yeah.
clients. So we're building a food delivery style racing game for the
Oh,
hangries. So if you hold or possess an NFT, then you'll be able to play as that character in the game
Mm.
and stack your items, stack your food items, and get to deliver it to our hungry residents.
Awesome.
So
very
that's
cool. Yeah,
That's
I love
very
that.
exciting. Yeah, me too. I think there's so much exciting stuff going on. I think it's just not enough now to be a PFP collection with just some JPEGs, right? I think everyone's doing some really, really cool things. I knew I was sat in the bar really, really high because the quality of illustrations and like I know
It
how
looks really good.
Google, it's just going to be insane. It's and you said you got funding. How have you got funding? Have you like put cases forward to like art councils or like how has that
How does
worked?
that work? Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right. So good question. Right. We've been dipping around in DAOs and trying to understand, if we commit to a chain, what's that look like from a strategic partnership with a blockchain and stuff. And to be truthful, none of those have actually worked out very well. They
yeah,
either give you little to nothing up front in order for you to actually develop the IP and the products that you need to then get them on chain and bring a Web 2 audience into a Web 3 experience, right?
yeah,
So all of them in that sense have been a damp squib. But because I've been a leader, I've been a business owner, and the ability to go out and hustle and find ways to apply ourselves with grants. We've actually been successful with 2 out of 4 applications with our own government. So we've been able to
Oh,
get
wow.
a
okay.
25K grant for the brand development and the animated trailer side of stuff.
So through
Uh,
the Welsh government.
Welsh government, yes, yes.
Wow, that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
So what we're really lucky with in Wales is we have an organisation called Creative Wales, and they
Yeah,
support a lot of creative endeavours in the film, TV, and media
yeah,
sector in Wales. And their whole remit is to support up and coming, established businesses in that space, animation, VFX, development of AR, VR technology, and to some extent AI stuff, which
yeah,
that's another topic altogether. So we put in, and Kerry did a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the application for the initial one, and we were successful. They said, "Yeah, this is a cool idea. Let's explore what that looks like." A team of bizarre misfits who don't quite fit into society, helping to represent the underrepresented in society from a neurodivergent or budding teens not sure where they sit in the world. And
yeah.
they said, yeah, this is quite a cool idea and it could work in Welsh and English. So we've got some early conversations with our own Welsh channel 4 S4C
Wow.
SBC.
to talk about what that looks like as an animated series. um, and then
Amazing.
we did another grant as well then this year that we're just wrapping up, it was an R&D grant to do with collaborative gameplay. So because we're in that entertainment space, looking at games, comics, and stuff, we thought let's have a look at what it looks like for collaborative gameplay. And the results are really interesting, especially with all of the, I suppose, the negative news around Roblox that's been murmuring around over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's really skewed our perspective on where we launch and what kind of platform we're building for a younger audience specifically, right? Because this is the whole brand and the IP is tweens and up, but there's a maturity to it. But we're pulling those tweens with us to go, hey, this is a society and a world you need to understand. Not everything's pretty, and you know, take your time, breathe it in, because this is
Live and learn. Yeah.
so. So we did an R&D project, and we're just about to publish our report and our white paper on that. There's some really interesting stuff and lots of good insight for us to take on to the next stage, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, both government organizations in the traditional Web 2 world, bizarrely.
Wow.
So, surprising to me that you said that, because I would. It's not, I think being from Wales, you kind of have this idea that the government's quite dated. I think on a lot of, but actually here they're doing something really forward thinking.
Yeah.
We were really hesitant about sort of the inclusion of NFTs, digital collectibles, right, in any of the narrative and the comms that we were.
So many people have preconceptions about that whole world, don't they?
Yeah, and there was 2 projects actually. We did a 3-day lab session where it's kind of like your introduction to how to conduct R&D, how to go about establishing your research patterns, and 2 projects on that cohort of labs were actually NFT projects or had NFTs as part of their back catalog.
Wow.
Augmented reality trading cards and stuff.
Oh, I love that idea. Yeah.
You may know him. I don't know. They're a North Wales game studio.
Okay.
And they're doing some really cool stuff with trading cards. I can't remember. There's something like Dead Souls or Dead Celebrity kind of things. It was bizarre.
That rings a bell. That does. Yeah.
It's
so exciting. So what's the timeline on when are you do you have a timeline on when are you going to release your first comic? And
well, we've already released one, so 2 seconds. So I'd already done an origin story.
For Otis.
Yeah, so Otis has already got. The idea was that we were going to have like an origin story for each, but so the layouts are quite colourful and full of life.
That looks pretty cool.
That looks really good.
I wasn't truly happy with the way the colours turned out on this. So proper creative and fuss ass didn't really like the colours and stuff.
That's what makes you good at what you do. Is you've got to be perfectionist, right? But it looks wicked. It looks so good.
Thank you.
How do we get our hands on these comics?
We've got. That comic is available on cryptocomics.com. So it's actually a digital comic on Polygon. This is a printed sample. And the reason I did it as a printed sample is because I wanted to see what the colors would look like.
Yeah.
So that's not fully released yet as a physical printed comic, but it is available on cryptocomics.com if you search for Angry Animals.
When they release, you won't have to be a holder of the NFT to get the comic, or anyone can just get their hands on it.
Yeah. All holders, bit of a steerage really. We had to redeploy our smart contract. Some weird things happened with it, but I just wanted to make sure it was safe. So I redeployed it last week, and now we're going to airdrop a comic to each of the holders of the NFTs.
Oh, I'm excited! I'll have one.
Yeah, so you'll get that. Interesting with cryptocomics.com, right? If you're really into that realm of you want to do sort of panel-based storytelling, you can actually overlay buttons and clicks that produce sounds or pop up little video clips on top of your comic experience as well. They've got this whole thing that's really cool. You can do a preview of 7 pages, and then if someone commits to purchasing it, then they can obviously experience it with soundscapes or.
And this is only through like their platform. Like you're able to do this through their platform. That's
correct.
That's very cool.
It's really good. They're really nice guys. They're very passionate about comics and storytelling and stuff. And they've got some pretty epic titles that are tied into the platform now as well. So yeah, anybody out there, go check out cryptocomics.com.
That's pretty cool to hear. You know why I started drawing like a comic thing. I don't know if you remember, Vicky. I sent you some stuff about it. But then I was just doing too much, so I have to put it in the back burner for now. But I'm still interested in doing something like it.
That's it then. This is it, just so people can see the link and what it looks like.
Yeah, there's a great place. You got some There aren't Marvel DC titles and stuff on there, but there are some really decent indies and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
They get some good
Yeah, I
titles.
love that stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be checking that out for sure. I read a lot of comics.
You know, Ricky, years ago when I was like, I don't remember, maybe like 12, 13, used to be a comic book store around my house, and they used to collect like drawings from like the people that would go shopping in there and put them all along their walls of like superheroes or whatever. And I used to draw these things all the time, so I used to have like drawings all over because every week I would draw one for them and like rush it to them and be like, "Hey, I made another one."
That's awesome. Is it still there or is it not?
No, they closed it down.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
business. But it was such a cool place to be in. I used to love that store.
Yeah.
Great places to hang out.
Yeah.
I love the way, because I think a lot of people in Web3 talk a lot about community, but I feel like what you're doing is like truly community led, like real world, Web3 world. And, I think that's quite impressive to me because even when I can see on you here, whereas it was like parents, we'd love you to take it. It's like the whole.
Yeah.
That's so inclusive. I feel like this is the first time I've ever looked at a project and gone, no, this is when community seriously means community. It's not just about a bunch of people sat in an X space. It's like this is about real life applications, real care of what's happening in the world around us. I just wanted to give you your flowers for that, as the people say in spaces.
I love that.
Saying that,
Thank you.
it's really impressive, dude. Like
Yeah, thank you. It's a started off as like a really interesting experiment, and just a passion-driven thing, but it's turned into a really viable angle that we're growing. It's an IP now, right? We're actually trademarked. We're actually trademarked in 3 categories in the USPTO, and the reason why we did it in the US is because most of the platforms online have a base registered in the US. So if anybody is feeling spicy and really wants to take advantage of what we built, we have the ability to do takedown requests very quickly because in the US, but it actually permeates across the globe because the base is
that's
in US.
Really good to know that. Is because I was talking to Fraser about this the other day because I've created the trading cards and there's a couple of things that we have in our minds that we'd like to do, and I was like, do you think maybe we should trademark Cute and Creepy Gang? I felt I don't think it's not a difficult process, is it? I don't think, but
No,
look,
it's not.
and I thought, is that overkill or not? Is it like running before you can walk sort of thing? But I was thinking, no, what if the trading cards take off? They're becoming a bit of a bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 at the minute. I feel like trading cards. Same as comics. I feel like the whole collectible thing is so similar to collecting an NFT that it kind of it seems like the only viable bridge to me between Web 2 and Web 3 that will really work.
Yeah, I mean,
the same mindset is what I'm getting at. Like people chase rates, in the same way they chase a trading card, or they look for that one-off cover on a magazine or a comic that they saw.
People want uniqueness, right? And they want to have a memory of an experience or something. Put it this way, right? I love comics. If anybody's heard of Spawn, the Spawn comic, Todd McFarlane, right? Todd McFarlane is an absolute god in that space. He is an entrepreneur in the space where he's gone toys, movies, comics, merch, everything, right? He's got that broad spectrum of stuff, and he's just following the fun, everything he does. And it was really surprising to me the other day to watch a live stream of Todd McFarlane in his own Discord community. At the end of that live stream, they were minting the illustrations that he was doing and gifting them to the people that were actually present on the live stream, right?
Wow, that's cool.
Someone of that caliber is going, this is the future of where we gift and appreciate what communities can do for creatives and do that together. I'm all for it. So that really turned a switch on for me and going, do you know what? We're on the right path. We're doing
I definitely think. I think that's always been, I was in a space yesterday where we were having this conversation about, artists and PFP collections and how there's a bit of a separation in Web3 quite often. I think, all three of us here are unique, as in we're founders of collections and we're the artists, so we kind of naturally straddle the two things.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me talking about that, and I think it's an exciting time. I really feel like me and Fraser have always felt like we wanted to, the royalties in our collection goes to the holder. It doesn't come to us. I was listening to people talking about, you're making profits and blah, blah, blah. And I just think, when we've had our first little run of mints, I've got these pins made and I'm sending them out to holders. And it's that kind of, that true, thank you for being supportive. I think it's nice to do that. It feels good to do that. I mean, you're doing it on another level. I mean, you're literally trying to improve the world. Yeah. I'm doing it one pin at a time, but it's really refreshing to see people doing this now. I feel like compared to when I came into the space 2 and a bit years ago, that has been quite the shift I've noticed.
Yeah. I checked in on our Discord 2 days ago, right? And one of the people in the Discord were like, "Whoa, Hungry Animals, you're still here. Kudos." I was like, yes, we're still here. Yeah. Why would we be going anywhere else? It's like,
there was someone shouting me out in a space the other day. I couldn't even remember ever speaking to them. They're like, "Oh, Vicky, she's been here. She's an OG." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm taking it. I'll take that. I've been here for a while. I'm still grinding away." It's funny.
Still grinding.
So and for
what we do.
Creatives, it really helps to have that appreciation.
It does. It does for sure. I think when somebody shares a little comment like that, or somebody buys a t-shirt off my site and shares it, or they've won something and they share it, or they've opened a pack of pins and they're like, it just makes you feel so good. It does. It is, constantly looking for validation. Yeah. It's quite sad, but
I'm excited.
Even when you're selling your collection, like when someone buys it, I remember when we were first minting and people were buying, we were so excited about, we sold one today. Oh my God, we sold two. Oh my God.
I feel like that now. I'm like, we sold two. Oh my God, two at once.
We sold out. Yeah. That's huge.
It's so exciting. I love that though. I feel, because you're like me, you work in IRL in design as well as do you have if there was a space you had to be in all more of the time, would you prefer to be in Web 2 or Web 3? In terms of creativity now, not paying the bills and all that kind of thing. Because I find it quite different, like you were saying, because I have that where you're working for clients, so you're kind of following, or you're trying to imagine and interpret their vision in a way that you are comfortable with and that you think is the right way. But then in Web 3, it's this is my vision. It's kind of quite different.
I try and find a sweet spot, really. If I could have it my way, it would be Web 3 all the way, because there's an autonomy, there's a creative freedom to. I've always seen Web 3 as this sweet spot between creativity and innovation, right? That technical layer that facilitates really cool stuff to happen on top of your art and stuff. So if I have my own way and the sort of the digital gods work their way out, it would be Web 3. To be able to spin up something on a daily basis and go, today, like what you were talking about earlier, when you've built your own kind of bot, spin up a trading card game with the collection, automate that whole process and go, hey, we've got this, we've randomized all the point systems for each of the characters in the PFP collection. Go and mint your pack, whether it's digital or physical, and they will have all of those details and stuff spun up on it, right?
It's just so exciting. It's just, I feel like, I think Jay said it, we were on holiday last year and I was, we were sat in, we were just sat by the pool and some guy was talking crypto and Jason was like, "Don't talk to me, talk to my girlfriend." I was like, okay. But he said to me, "I've never seen you so happy in your life since you came to 3, which is really interesting. And I think I'm constantly creating every spare minute. I'm creating there's an energy about this space that is really addictive that I just don't think I could ever give up. It is because of people like you guys, where you're always like, oh, I'm building this. It's the builders, it's like you're artists, but you're building something, whether that's a universe or a game or, whatever. It's really exciting.
When I'm not creating something, I'm usually thinking about something I
Yeah.
want to create. It's like in my mind 24/7. I just can't
Yeah.
get it out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, when I get home, I need to do this. Or hey, I how can I develop this? Or how can I make this happen? And then you just as a creator, you just think about it 24/7.
You
It's
do.
crazy.
I
But I
second
love
that.
it.
No,
I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, nor me. I think all my life I've never felt like I've really belonged anywhere, like I belong here, because I've always been the only creative friend. I've never had like creative friends as such. Because although I worked in studios,
Mhm.
I think we were talking about this earlier, Andy. There's a little bit of ego that goes on
Yeah.
in studios.
boss.
Especially, no offense to you men, your egos are the most delicate. um, I would never felt like I really fitted in that space really, and I was really glad to go freelance and kind of get away from it. But then it wasn't until I started hanging out in spaces and met other artists and creators and builders and that I'm like, oh my God, this is like my tribe. I've like finally found it. This is so cool. But yeah, it's amazing.
Definitely an exciting place to be in, especially for us that as artists. Because if you think about it, I mean, we never would have thought that we would have a platform where we can showcase our art. Like I remember in high school, and I know I've talked about this in different podcasts, that when you're in high school, you're in college, and you're drawing, and your friends are drawing, you never think like, oh, nobody's ever going to see this drawing that I did, and it's so cool. But now we have this platform for NFTs where we're able to showcase our artwork. We're
Yeah.
able to put it out there into the world. We're able to do all these things with it, right? So it's very. I love this world. I love it. Makes me happy.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is really cool.
It's I think it is rewarding in a way, when you can test things out. There's
Mhm.
little experiments you can do, and I've been following a model that began life as an NFT project on
Yeah.
Solana. It's called Claynosaurs. I don't know if any of you have seen Claynosaurs. So Nicholas Cabana and a group of people spun up a collection called Claynosaurs with a Z. Claynosaurs with a Z. They got invited by the Sui chain to a conference to showcase the real utility and usage of a digital collection and how that can help build a brand from the ground up with a community.
Yeah.
What they ended up doing was going to Annecy and showcasing short animated TikTok loops that they'd done with the characters from the collection. They
Wow.
went to Annecy. They've then got the attention of Disney, and I think they've now signed a deal with Disney to do
Wow.
Wow.
that's the approach we should be looking at and sort of trying to emulate is
Mhm.
elements of what they're doing, right? Build with community, not in isolation, and actually share the joys of doing that together. As you mentioned earlier, Vicky, the ability with a community to ask them things like you do on X, right? Left or
Yeah.
right, which one do you like? And
Yeah.
that's so valuable because you get instant feedback on a piece of work, and that's the way we're trying to do it here. So some of the characters that we're working with are actually inspired by or named by the community.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, I was thinking of because I've done all the designs for the trading cards, and I have a couple. I'm like, oh, I don't know which one I want to use for that trait. So I was thinking of doing a little voting, like which card do you want to see included, tagging the people who own them, because I kind of am pretty good at knowing who's got what, and I think it's kind of nice, and people have been involved like that. I'm, getting people, like you say, I had people name some of my Mystic Moons, did little voting, community votes. It's just nice because I think you're asking them to like have faith in you, and it's nice to have feedback. And I always try and like in my Monday space, try and if I've got ideas, I run it past the group and kind of see has anyone got any thoughts, and it's the way to for sure. Definitely.
I think it's so valuable. So you go, like, when you're second guessing yourself, just put it out there in the community and go, where are we going with this? It
Yeah.
really does help in that,
Yeah.
in those moments where you sort of questioning what direction you need to take this in.
Yeah.
Audience feedback, biggest, quickest thing to get you to where you want to be. So
Yeah.
Definitely. Amazing. So what's next on, so I guess you're working on the comics, the animation then is the next step.
yeah, so as I said, it all comes at once or not at all. We've been doing a couple of recce's over the past couple of weeks. We've been to a couple of Comic Cons. So UK is really quite good for cons. And somebody
Yeah.
said to me the other day, I only thought there was one Comic Con in San Diego. It's like, dude, no.
What? Yeah, because there was one in ITC which I'd not heard about, and I used to go to the one that was coupled with the tattoo convention in Cardiff. It was like a tattoo and Comic Con kind of smashed together, which
Yeah.
was kind of really random, but it worked because I guess it's a similar sort of culture.
It is, yeah. I mean, I did 2 years ago, maybe. I did Barry Comic Con, which is, Barry is Barry Island. It's like a seaside town in South Wales, and really well attended. I think we sold about 25, 30 comics just off
Wow.
the cuff. I said first edition, and people were like jumping at it to grab it.
Yeah,
I was signing them and everything. It was crazy.
that's
Um,
really good.
so yeah, we'd be doing recce's on what Comic Cons do we want to attend next year in lining up the potential 6-issue series. But we're not going to have all 6 issues done by then. We're hoping that we'll have 2 issues done with the tease of the third one, off the back of some good sales on that front. So that's probably priority number one, is gearing and preparing ourselves for the Comic Cons in the new year. But then it's pushing along and getting a little bit more momentum behind us with the game prototype for the game. The game is called Nom Nom Express.
Love that. Nom nom.
I don't,
Was
yeah,
that a community thing or was that you coming up with it?
I'm quite good at coming up with random names, and that one just came out of the air. It was like, Nom Nom Express. Why not?
I
That's
get
fun.
it.
It's like
That's actually funny and cool. I like it.
yeah,
It is funny.
it's
Yeah.
a job simulator style game. So you got your jet wash or your Tony Hawk style mop.
Yes.
So it'll be a bit, it's in that genre, job simulator. So you're a food delivery driver on roller skates or a push bike or a moped, and you have the challenge is to deliver as much stacked food. So it'll be a physics based game. So you've got to keep everything balanced to longer and further away destinations, and the quality of the food and the time frame in which you deliver your food is really important, and you get better scores. And you maybe try, other factions that run the delivery services might try and coerce you to join them instead of sticking with who you start off with. So it's a whole chaotic world that we're building.
Yeah, I feel like Moose is not going to be great at delivering food. I feel like he's going to be mucking around.
He's
Moose is not going to be very good at it.
don't forget detachable antlers. Could be
Maybe you could use them as extra little hands there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
That sounds fun.
You know what you're missing in there? An insect.
Oh, he's an ant. Oh, and a witch.
A little ant in there.
so I was doodling while we were playing.
Oh,
So
look at that.
just like a big old bug. So
Love it.
I'm gonna find them along the way.
Brilliant.
So let me ask you something. When you're developing these characters, like, do you develop the story for them first, like a bio for them, and then draw them, or do you draw them first and then look at it and then you're like, okay, this is what this person is going to do, or this character is going to do, that person?
Interesting. A bit of both, really. Sometimes there's a story arc that requires a character or an intervention from a character that we haven't come up with yet. So a plot line or a scenario presents itself, and then we'll go, what contrasting being, be that human or a hybrid or an animal, would actually be funny in that scenario to bring to life. But then the flip side is sometimes I just take a pencil for a walk and see what happens, and
Yeah.
we'll come up with a Boston Terrier who's part of the military, and
He's like Robo Terrier.
yeah,
That looks
so
Brilliant. That's so freaking cool.
yeah.
he's called Bruce, obviously.
Brilliant. Of course he is.
So it comes in different forms, it's not just me. Just want to be transparent with that. It's not just me writing this stuff. I
Mm,
have worked with a script writer previously,
Wow.
mm,
and we have another team of two that are kind of collaborating with us now. That just throw ideas my way, and typically it's me and Carrie go in. Yes, no, that's the persona, spot on or not, and
yeah.
stuff. So
Wow.
and again, the community as well. What do we think of
Yeah.
this? What if we introduce this character? Any new hangries that we haven't thought of? Put your ideas. So in the Discord, we have an ideas vault, and we drop.
Oh, okay. That's a
People
good
can
idea.
drop things in there. We have a synthetic token that we give away called food. If people contribute cool ideas, and
Mhm.
then that token will be redeemable in the game for assets. So
Ah,
upgrades for vehicles, clothing, and stuff.
So if anyone wants
There's
to
lots
jump
going on.
in,
yeah.
if anyone
Now,
wants to,
the development of the comic book, is that all you, or is that the team itself too?
Yeah, that's primarily me at the moment. I'm trying to secure a very, very well known artist at the moment. So
Oh, okay.
I could do it all, but timing wise, I need to
Yeah.
really think
Yep.
about how
I
I
hear you.
spread my time. So yeah, I'm in early conversations with a pretty epic artist
That's
uh,
pretty cool.
that would work on top of my pencil work or my thumbnails and
Yeah.
stuff. So
And that's hard to do, that when you have your idea developed already and then another artist comes in. So
yeah.
you were talking about animation. So we do have an animation company working with us. But
Oh,
we
cool.
had one first called Infinity Animation, and we were working with them. And every time I would send them like a drawing of what I wanted it to look like, it never came, like my vision never developed. And I was just kept getting frustrated, and I kept throwing money at this company and throwing money and money and money. And then it got to a point that I was like, you know what? That's it. Like, I can't. You guys are not getting it. Like, I can't do it. And then I decided to like trash the whole project and go with a different animation company, which we're working with now, which are actually really good at like creating
Cool.
my vision. But
Yeah,
it's hard.
it is, and it's sort of finding synergy with a team of people that get it,
Yeah.
understand the aesthetic that you're after, the movement, everything. I mean, I 3D
Yeah.
model, and I can rig and do all those things as well. So you may have seen in a previous tweets that we have a 3D rendered versions as well. So those versions are for the game. But yeah, I agree with you, Miguel. It's really tough to sort of find a team of people who can work with you and actually understand
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
piece you're
Very
trying
good.
to get out of your head. It's
Yeah.
so tough. So
And nothing against like the artists working for that company, like I'm sure they're
yeah,
great, but
yeah,
it's just like sometimes you have like a look and you can like I was honestly like I was sending them like when you're rendering, for example, in 3D, you got to send like different versions of like side shot, back shot, what it would look like, front shot,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
I would send them all that, and it would still not get it. I don't know if it was that they couldn't understand the concept behind like a ninja ant or something like that. I don't know. It's just
it's
it wasn't working.
not like, it's not like anything too far out, is it? I feel like
No.
not with your skill of drawing, they should be able to get that.
Yeah. And sometimes, you simplify things. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
happy with what I do.
I will say that sometimes when you draw something in 2D,
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't translate to a 3D object or a 3D shape as well as you'd expect.
Okay.
And I've been a victim of that, right? I've designed characters for brands and universities and stuff that look cool on paper because they exist in a 2D realm. And it was a football shaped head, right? It's like a really wide, long, almost like a subway, foot long subway kind of head. And then,
Yeah.
and then we're like, oh, we want to make this in 3D. Well, it doesn't translate in 3D when you start to rotate it. from a practical perspective, walking through doors, turning corners.
You wouldn't have even thought, yeah, like
90-degree turn, you lose the entire aspect of the character's head. You're like, whoa, hang on a minute, that doesn't quite compute. So, but yeah, it's tough to articulate that kind of world.
we
But yeah,
got the COC here.
hey, is Rev and the CEO.
I've not been into this space for ages. I'm always
Of
out
course.
and on.
Shout out to those. What a cool community.
They are a really cool community. That's how I met Cliff, I think, was through their community, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah, no, it's been so I could just talk to you all night. I managed to find the comic link on the thing, so I've been just like having a little scoot through. If people want to join your Discord, if you go into like Hangry Animals on X, so here's the it's just at Hangry Animals. The link tree, then there's all the relevant links you need. There's like Discord. Are you really active on Telegram? It's not something I kind of am on there a little bit. I only go in the COC group actually. I'm not really part of any other community on there.
Yeah, I got a love-hate relationship with Telegram. I don't know why. I'm just like
Same.
so many DMs of things that I think are legit, and then they turn out to not be legit.
Yeah.
They send me to a Discord group like we've gone live and stuff, and I'm like, no. So I use Telegram with Hangry as a bit of a notifications channel, so a posting channel and say, hey, this is newsletters out, posting stuff. So tend to not do as many sort of posts on there. So it's typically Discord and X really. But we have been quite crap on socials because we've just been so busy with.
You're so busy building; it's really hard to do it all, isn't it?
Striking that balance, you know. So
well, so yeah, I am. I've noted. I'll follow you on Instagram as well. These are cool. I love seeing the little pets. Look at him with his little bubble head.
That's right. Moose, because
I love that.
He's got playful traits. I think the moose has the most playful traits.
He's definitely the least sort of attitude, and he's just like
He likes to have fun. That's it.
I think that's such a clever skill to be able to like to get that across. Just to like from like one look at a collection, you can go, I can get the personalities here. You know, it's really skillful to be able to create that.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it's about building with people that get it and truly support. You know, we've had ups and downs. We've had Jason Derulo was potentially involved in the early stages, and then we kind of said, "Now we're good." There was a conversation with Mr. Derulo that was like, this would be awesome. I want to take it to the stage. I want to do a live stage show with it. And I was like, not really the vibes of like a proper, Broadway kind of stage show.
Okay.
Not really my vibe. Yeah. So
I'm assuming that's the game, the 3D models you were talking about for the.
Yeah, so that's one iteration because we have ambitions for an RPG, a role-playing game where you play the character and you go through certain scenarios. That is a way bigger undertaking, but the food delivery game is more manageable. It's it's easier to produce and whatnot. So, but yeah, so these are just early experiments with what the characters would look like in 3D. But I'm all for this toon shaded look. So you see the CG renders. It's got some Fortnite vibes, and I'm like, I want to avoid the Fortnite vibes. I'd rather the 2D style. So we're working on a way so the 3D characters would actually be rendered in a 2D way.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
toon shaded is the term.
Yeah, and
so
that'll sit nicely in the collection then as well, and it'll just marry it together really well.
But they're all we did Goodwood Festival of Speed. We were invited down to Goodwood Festival of Speed to showcase some real-time performing. So that scroll up a bit.
This way.
That one there with down below the food, but below the food one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, I saw this.
So we were in Goodwood Festival of Speed, and there's a performer wearing a motion capture suit in the US driving a puppet in a live show in UK. So that,
No,
What?
yes,
Wait a
seriously,
minute.
that character is being driven by a performer in the US.
That's crazy.
Cool,
Yeah, so that's Otis.
I assume they're wearing a suit with sensors and all that kind of stuff. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so Perform It Live are a partner of ours, and they've produced a full suit,
crazy.
bodysuit camera where we as directors can talk to the performer wherever they are in the world. It's really low latency, so it'll run over 5G. You don't need a super fast Wi-Fi connection or anything. It'll run over 5G, and you can basically direct a performer with an iPad. So you are the camera as such, and you can move it around, and it'll record the performer's data, and then we can take that data as animated content.
Isn't that
So you do
really
a
good?
big old dance.
That's crazy. I love that.
Yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're UK based. They started off life as a golf performance analysis tool.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
a good friend of mine, James Banfield, was like, we could use this for animation mocap. So that's another string to our bow when we're playing with.
That is so impressive. Can you imagine, like, when you go to Comic-Con, right, and you've got your comics set up, you have the characters that, oh my God.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
We just got the alpha, guys.
Yeah.
We just did. I'm having like some sort of head explosion right now. This is so freaking cool.
Imagine Otis handing you like a flyer or a comic or something virtually, and then like, and it links to a QR code and whatever.
Oh,
so can I have Otis on one side and Sabrina on the other side? There's two virtual driven puppets.
Are you planning on doing like Comic-Con here in New York?
That would be great. That would be great.
Because if you do, I'm there.
And me.
I'm so there.
We'll sack off NFT NYC, Miguel, and we'll go there instead.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that this year, but just things didn't align. We had too much going on this side. But next year, I want to start planning for stuff like that.
Yeah, apparently this year NFT NYC, outside of like NFT NYC, the parties and the meetups were like really good this year.
Yeah, we did cool ones. The best one we went to was the Metal Warriors. We had Ben on, didn't we, a few weeks back, Miguel, and he's a comic illustrator. So check out Ben Fellows and Metal Warriors. They'd be good to hook up with, I reckon. They do cool stuff.
I'll check him down.
Yeah, he's from Yorkshire, but at Leeds he's from. Sorry, he's from Leeds, but he lives in California. So we met him at a party on like a rooftop, and it was all heavy metal, and it was like free bar, and they were giving out records and metal the band. It was like kind of. I was like, it was mind blowing to me. It was just wicked.
Cool.
We went to about 3 or 4 parties that were just really dope.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, I need to get out more. I need to not be caged and tied to my desk doing stuff.
Well, literally, I went to New York and then I've not left my desk since. I've been there, now I've come back, and now that's it now. I'm not going anywhere else. But yeah. Oh, well, it's been so good to have you on. And I'd love it if you come on again once the comic, when you're further along the process, share where you're up to. That would be really exciting.
Happy to do so. Yeah, no, I'd love to. It's just good vibes and, sharing that adventure with like-minded people. So whenever's good. Would love to come back.
So where can people go get the NFTs?
hungryanimalscom/mint. There is if you click on collectibles, the collectibles page on the top menu.
Yeah, and then it takes you straight to this page. So you go hit collectibles, and it takes you to the mint page.
Yeah, if you scroll down there, and you'll see there's just sign in. I try to make it as smooth as possible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Vicky, can you put it on the chat? The app.
Mm-hmm. I will put it on the chat.
And then, Yeah, we're on we're on Polygon at the moment, but we've got a multi-chain ambition with it. Just trying to figure out what that looks like from a deployment perspective. But Poly was our first protocol because it allows us to do stuff with gaming. It's just quicker, speedier than ETH. So that was our strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main, and I'll put the Discord, because it sounds like your Discord's where it's like a lot of the community engagement is going
Yeah.
on. So I'll post the Discord link in there as well.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Anybody that sort of have got some ideas, feel like they want to contribute, or you've got concepts. I need to update that link actually. I'll do the.
Yeah, it's
let, me
open.
let me send you a link now. I'll send you an invite
Just
link.
stick it in there. Yes.
One sec.
Maybe I'm already in. Hang on.
You should be already in, yeah.
I need to get in there.
There we go. There's the mint. Oh, I'll sort it out, and I'll post it under the chat.
Yeah, please do. Expire. No.
Yeah, sometimes those links expire, don't they? Oh, I've noticed you've got merch as well.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at these.
We got. What do we have?
I want a big moose sweater.
Is there a moose sweater? Hang on, let me have a look.
That's what I want.
Here we go.
So I've got that one in grey, and it's.
There we go. Love it.
I'm gonna have to get one now.
Yeah.
Using Tap Stitch. Tap Stitch is really, really good for very affordable print.
So I've been using Ink Threadable. Have you heard of them?
Threadable, yes.
Ink Threadable. They print on demand, and I really like the quality.
Yeah,
This is
just experimenting with them really to see which one works.
Yeah, I think Incredible's a small family run one, and the quality, like I couldn't. I have a screen printed T-shirt next to one that they printed, the same design, and there was very little in it, like in terms of quality. And they do some really nice, like lovely organic cotton, like T-shirts and stuff. If you're into like the more eco stuff as well, so
I'll have a look.
give them a check out.
I shall scope it out. Yeah, I won't let, for some reason, inviting friends to Hungry Animals. I've got like a little.
Yeah, it took me somewhere. It didn't take me there. I don't know where it took me.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'll post it in our Discord and in the Revelant chat and whatnot.
Yeah. Post it everywhere.
Send me the link when you've got it, and I'll share it across all my little groups.
Perfect. Thank you.
No worries. Oh well, I suppose it's time to wrap it up, as it's just after 12.
Time for bed.
It's time for bed for us. It was like 7 to 8. The last British person I asked to come on the show was like, "Oh no, I'm in bed by then." I was like,
I'm a night owl. This is when I start drawing.
Yeah,
this is like time to start drawing now.
I don't know what it is about. It's like past 10 o'clock for me. It's like I start becoming more creative, and my brain just goes. I don't know.
When it goes the fastest.
Yeah, it does. It's weird. But yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And like, yeah, if you would, we'd love to have you back.
I love it.
Yeah, we love it.
Definitely do. And join a couple of sessions and just listen in as well. Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you want to add anything, Miguel, before we wrap up?
Just thank you to Andy for coming on the show and talking about his project. I love it. Hopefully we could have him again and talk more about it, because it seems like you're doing a lot. So,
and like high level.
Oh.
I'm sure everybody knows about it, because I think it's a cool project. I think that you're doing some great things, and can't wait to see what you do in the future with it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, well, we shall wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Yeah, don't forget to check out Hungry Animals on X. Have a little look at the website. Fancy hanging out, and on a Monday, I'm going to do a space, I think. Miguel, if you're around, maybe. So, yeah, I'll put a post on X.
Yeah, just shoot me a text. I'll get it.
So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It's been a really good show, and we will be back next week. I think I've got Metalhead on next week. He's a photographer that makes glitch art. It's really freaking cool. So I think he's on next week. But I shall keep everybody posted. So thanks so much for joining. I shall wrap it up. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one. Thank you. Bye.